gotta be kidding me.
Hello. Make sure
Hello.
we're good.
Hello, hello.
Levels are right.
We good.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 39. Today is Tuesday, April 20th. Today we talk very briefly about sports. We're in a lull right now. Talk some science, Twitter trends, hot topics, give our favorite from New Music Friday. And I would also like to wish everyone a happy 420. We
Happy
recorded
holidays.
on purpose on this day. Not really. We just ended up doing it.
Yeah.
But okay, let's get right into it. I have another new background, as you can see.
A new week, a new background. I like this. Can we keep it? Can we keep it like this?
Yeah.
It's clean. It's clean.
Yeah. So basically, I had the desk turned the other way. Now I've turned it to face the wall for when I record because I don't feel like taking those bags down every time.
Yeah.
So we finally got a nice setup going here. And now this is nice for if I need to record anything for conferences, like it looks, professional plain background. So
the random thing in the just for
I mean, I can remove it if
No, it looks fine. It gives it a little character.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, like hippie peaceful type of, I don't know what these things are called. But anyway, we are in between sports, kind of.
Yeah.
So we are at the start of MLB season, so not much to talk about. Nothing crazy happening yet. A lot of games being canceled because of weather, Mets games at least. And then NBA, the playoffs are later, so we're like in between things right now. Not much to talk about. No NFL draft coming up, but still waiting on that.
That'll be next week, right? Because I think the draft starts... When does the draft start?
It's soon.
29th of April. 29th of April. I don't know what day that is, but...
Did we find out if this was in Vegas? It was supposed to be in Vegas last year, so I thought maybe they would do it in Vegas again this year since it got canceled last year.
I don't know. Are they doing the Zoom thing again? Like, are they still... I would assume probably they are, because I don't think they're going to bring people out. I have no idea, to be honest with you. I haven't heard anything about it.
No, I got it. NFL draft will take place in person in Cleveland. The league announced on Monday.
Cleveland. Well,
in person.
Nice. Everyone got COVID tested, maybe some vaccines.
Yeah, I mean, people are going to sports events in New York now, so.
Oh, I mean, if you look at, where was that one game in Texas where they had a full stand of fans at a baseball game?
Well, this weekend, the UFC is going to be in Jacksonville, I think, Florida, and they're having a full packed stadium.
We back, baby. Bring them in by the bunches.
I guess we'll see how it works, right? I mean, this is the experiment.
I love how it's like we don't ever gradually do anything in this country. Like we just go, oh, so we got vaccinated and the restrictions are easing. So we just everybody allowed, like not even like 50%, 75%, everyone.
Well, it's certain areas. Not all areas are allowed. Like here in New York, baseball stadiums are still at like 50% or whatever
LA,
the heck it is.
50%, yep.
But we are now increasing our time that we can be out at the bars and things. So midnight, we're getting close because we were 4 a.m. city before. Now we're back at midnight, which is nice. We don't
summertime going up.
COVID doesn't come out at 10 p.m. anymore. It comes out at midnight.
Yeah. We all know that with the vaccine, it became later now. It's science.
So yeah, something like that. So things are looking up. I think more people are out and about, feeling safer. I mean, I know my friends are starting to travel again. We just had, this weekend was my redo of my 30th birthday party, which was super fun. So November is my birthday. COVID, I was just turned 30. COVID ruined everything. We couldn't gather. So we had a deposit on a place at the beach. So we used it for last weekend. We couldn't use it during season, unfortunately, but we all got to gather. I think like 90% people vaccinated, so that's herd immunity at that point. And it was great. It was really nice. It was cool
I think it's... Go ahead, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, I was saying it's just cool to be together with everyone and not scared anymore.
Yeah, I think it would probably be better for you guys to go in April too, because like I feel like going to the beach in November, like going into winter, is kind of depressing. At least for me, I always thought going to the beach in the wintertime was super depressing. But I mean, you're in April, spring, you get decent weather, so it's kind of like, ooh, hopeful spring. Like we're gonna go in summer, like COVID's almost over, blah blah blah. Like, so I feel like
Oh yeah, we got to walk around. The pool was heated.
nice.
So we were in the pool a little bit. We got to ride those Surreys, those bikes that fit like 6 people.
Yeah, that's cool.
We're just riding that around town. The house came with a golf cart. And that's like a street legal, so you can drive that throughout Cape May and everything. That was cool.
Nice.
We went to the arcade. You know where that arcade is?
Yeah.
That like old one. We went in there. And
Still
did you see
living?
the video? The video I posted.
I think so. Yeah, I think I saw it.
Where they were riding the carousel. But yeah, we're kind of off sports topic right now. But coming back to sports, we were talking about things are opening up basically.
Jake Paul and Ben Askren, the biggest scam of 2021, the biggest bullshit I've ever seen in my life.
So something we need to talk about under sports is the fight, so the boxing match that the world was talking, basically just the US. The US was talking.
Yeah.
No one, this boxing has really fallen off, man. I don't know what that was. We didn't pay for it. Did you pay for anything?
No, I just streamed. I'm not paying for that bullshit.
Yeah. Illegal stream. It was a bunch of concerts that no one wanted to listen to. It was weird.
I mean, they had some pretty big names though. I mean, Doja Cat, Justin Bieber.
Big names, but they had big names, but it was like boring. We just weren't entertained. We were not entertained.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I know what you mean.
It was just weird vibe. I mean, Snoopy Dogg was
he's hilarious.
Cool. He's great, man. But yeah, I mean, no one cared about the other boxing matches. They were not big names or anything. And then you get to Jake Paul and Ben Askren. Ben Askren, dad bod of the century again, which he was known for a little bit in the UFC when he was fighting. He had a dad bod too a little bit. But he's older. He just had like hip surgery. I mean, Jake Paul won the fight. Okay, we should talk about like Jake Paul won the fight. If you can think that he been through it, but regardless, the guy knocked him out. He's knocked out 2 people now. Has he knocked all 3 out? I guess he's 3-0 or something.
Yeah, he's 3. Yeah, I think so.
I mean, he's entertaining.
Yeah, he's entertaining. I mean, and he's not like a bad boxer. He's not like the worst boxer ever.
He trains, like legit trains. He takes it seriously. For it.
Yeah, my thing is like, why did Ben Askren take the fight if he wasn't going to train and he knew he didn't even have a chance? Like, he didn't even look like he could like physically throw a punch out there. Like, he was hitting him like this. Like, it was like the weakest shit I've ever seen. Like, it was
weird.
We know what it was though. It's a money grab. Like, it's which a lot of boxing matches are. I mean, let's be real. Like, Floyd Mayweather fights this person. Like, it's a money grab. But I mean, at least they make it entertaining. They make it a couple like 5 to 12 rounds. Like, this was 30 seconds and he got knocked out. Like, he didn't even land a punch on him. Like, it was a good knockout. But I mean, like, I think anybody could have knocked him out. He just kind of like leaned into it.
The biggest scam of 2021 for sure.
Hey, man.
So far.
Hey, I'm not mad at it though. Get your money. Like, cool. Like, you guys gave us a concert, but at least if you're gonna do that, like, give us like 3-4 rounds of decent boxing and then knock him out. Like, come on.
I mean, I don't even care about that. I don't care. I don't mind the fight being quick. And I'm not mad about it. Like, a lot of people are hating on Jake. I mean, people hate Jake Paul. They hate him to hate him. And it's annoying because he's a YouTube star. He's super rich and he's now fighting and people are mad. And it's like, he can't be good at both things. It's like, yeah, some people. But I think more than that, he found it. And I heard this on another podcast. This is not an original thought by me, but I thought it was a good point that he's able to turn things into businesses and ways. He's really good at making money. He invented this. This fight. He's gotten people to fight him. He put on this show. Like, if anything, you can hate him if you want, but he's really good at selling shit and entertaining people.
And he turns the hate into entertainment. Like, he's good at making people hate him. He knows that, but he uses that, and it might make people hate him even more. But people tune in, and like, you can say what you say about him, but like, you gotta respect him.
I respect the biz, the hustle. I let him fight a real boxer then.
Yeah,
not
that's
someone
my thing.
high up, not someone high up,
Yeah.
but someone who's low like him.
Yeah.
Amateur, maybe not amateur, professional, but like still pretty low, and just let him fight. I mean, what's the big deal?
I think that'll be a good fight. I mean, I think he will get to that, but I think like right now, it's just for the entertainment factor. And I really do think he takes it seriously. Like I think he does
I do too.
want to be a professional boxer. You can see he trains, he knows how to fight. And I think if he fought someone that is just decent, like an average fighter, maybe someone new to boxing like professionally, I think it would be a good fight.
Yeah. So maybe that'll be next. I hope so. I'd watch it. I'll tune in.
Yeah. Whatever. I mean, I like people hate him, like, but at the end of the day, like he is who he is. Like, why do you expect anything different?
Yeah. So, that's really all I have. Like I said, UFC, more fight nights, everyone coming out. So crowds are gonna. So tune in. I'm gonna tune in just so I can see people in an arena again.
That's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice to see.
And like people cheering. That's gonna be sick. I'm excited.
That's gonna make the fight more entertaining because it's kind of boring when there's no like noise going on.
Well, the fights, I know you're a betting man now, so I don't know if you bet on the UFC fights this weekend, but they were pretty boring. They were pretty boring this weekend. So yeah, it'll be exciting. All right, so that's all I have for sports. We'll move into science. So I decided to do a fun little Science 420 edition.
Yeah.
Cannabis edition.
Ooh. Well, let me pull up my handy danny. Keep going. You can keep talking.
Are you taking notes?
I'm not taking notes.
Oh. Yes, indeed. If you are watching on YouTube, Dougie has his supplies.
Yes. This is a mini boy, but I got more than this. But it's just a little something like.
Dougie is celebrating today. Big day, big day. If you're in New York City, I think in Union Square or Washington Square, they're giving out free joints today if you are vaccinated. So go feel the love if you want to chill. That's available for you. So
if you want to chill, or if you want to get extremely paranoid and think everybody hates you.
Indeed. Okay, so just figured I'd talk a little bit about cannabis, what we know about what it does to the brain and things. There's still a lot of
the brain and things.
The brain and things.
That's gonna be the title. The brain and things.
Well, I try to keep it all layman's terms, and then I get too simplistic, and then I sound like I'm talking to a child. So I'm like, no, don't do that. But essentially, I figured I'd explain a little bit about what we know, and it's not a lot. That's very controversial. Cannabis with there's a relationship between memory. And that if you smoke, your short-term memory is gone, which potentially could be true, but the verdict is still out on all of these things. So, weed. Weed is essentially a plant, as you all know, an herb. Dougie is showing you what it looks like. So, weed is basically made up of THC and CBD. As most of you have heard, THC is actually a lipid. So THC is a psychoactive ingredient, and it is a lipid, essentially a fat. And if you didn't know, your body actually has endogenous cannabinoids. So, what? My body can get high on its own? Yes.
I know that.
Indeed. So THC and CBD are cannabinoids. That's what's in the weed plant. But your body also makes endogenous cannabinoids. So that means that your body also has receptors for these cannabinoids because it's naturally occurring in your body.
Wait, it's not cannabinoids, it's cannabinoids?
I guess you can say it how you want.
Oh, I didn't know. I just want to make sure I'm not saying it wrong.
I mean, I say cannabis. Cannabinoids. How do you say it?
Cannabinoids. Maybe I'm wrong. Well, no.
Yeah.
Cannabinoids, yeah.
Yeah, that's what you say.
Oh, okay.
You're fine.
All right.
So we have two receptors, CB1 and CB2. And CB1 is what exerts the psychoactive effects. That's why you feel high. So THC binds to those receptors. Binds to both of them, but that one is the one that makes you feel high. And so THC is basically similar in structure to, your naturally occurring cannabinoids. And so they can also attach to the same receptors in your brain. And so these receptors activate tons of different processes, which is why weed affects so much of your physical and sensual like functions, basically.
Yeah.
So it attaches to your frontal cortex, hippocampus, basal ganglia, like a lot of different structures in the brain which control attention, reward, learning. And so one of the things that THC does is stimulate neurons of the reward system. So it signals that chemical dopamine that many people may have heard of. And this occurs at higher levels when you're smoking. And so essentially you get this rewarding stimulus when you smoke, so you want to continue to do it. Now, weed hasn't been shown to be super addictive. It's not super addictive, but people like smoking, and that's why, because it does touch on those dopamine signaling pathways.
Yeah, and I think sorry not to cut you off, but I think like
no, go on.
It can be addictive in the sense of like if you're just smoking a joint, it's not addictive. But if you start smoking like blunt wraps or backwoods, then you bring tobacco into it. So you know, you want that tobacco, but you also like to smoke weed. So that whole process becomes addictive together.
Right. Yeah. And so weed is very controversial because it has so many good benefits, but also has some bad benefits. Or not bad benefits. It's an oxymoron. It also has some side effects. So the paranoia is something. So a lot of research is looking to just extract out the CBD and not the THC, the psychoactive ingredient, which can make some people paranoid.
Yeah.
But you know, CBD sometimes alone isn't strong enough for you to reap all of the benefits. So they're trying to create a lot of different molecules based on THC and CBD. And also without hurting, you know, the memory attention side of things. So there was this recent study that just came out looking at weed and visual attention span and driving. Mm-hmm. And so essentially it was very bad.
Yeah.
You shouldn't drive while smoking is essentially what they're saying, because you don't have as clear vision as you normally do. And that's not for everyone. So again, a little controversial. I think everyone's body reacts a little bit differently to these types of things, especially because THC binds to a lot of different receptors throughout the entire brain. So, and also depends what kind of strain of weed you're getting as well. So all of these things have to be taken into account. And there's a lot of research that still needs to be done, especially long term. So if you start smoking at a young age, what happens to your brain at a later age? And obviously that research takes a long time. So we're not there yet. But it does affect attention, which would then affect short-term memory, which I think is, you know, the theory behind why people have some of the short-term memory loss. Because when you're smoking, you can't pay attention very well to things. You can't see things very well. And so that all plays a role into that. But the other thing I want to talk about is there is some confusion and myths about why your eyes get red when you're smoking. So
I would
a lot
like to
of
know
people,
because I don't know this.
Yeah, so why does weed make your eyes red? A lot of people thought that when I talk to them, they think it's the smoke, but it's not the smoke. So because if you've ever taken edibles, your eyes also get red.
Yeah.
So cannabinoids bind to cannabinoid receptors, like I mentioned before, and that induces the dilation or the widening of blood vessels. And so this increases blood flow to the different areas and causes an overall decrease in blood pressure. And that increases blood flow to your eyeball, and that causes the red appearance. And the lowered blood pressure can also cause like dizziness, or if you smoke a lot at once, maybe you might experience some dizziness. But yeah, so you get this increased blood flow to your eyeball and this widening of the overall blood vessels.
So does that do, besides your eyes, because I know I just read not an article. It was, I don't know who posted it, but it was from NBC or ABC, and someone did a study on working out while high, and I think it's they said it's beneficial. Like it can be good if you're high and you work out because your blood vessels are expanded. You get more blood to the muscle, and that can create more muscle. I think that's what they said. I could be wrong though.
It makes sense. I
Is that
haven't heard that, but in theory, it makes sense.
yeah? Because I over the years I've heard like people like work out when they're high. They say they can lift more and it's better for them. It didn't make a lot of sense to me, but then like I just read this article and they said it's obviously that they just started testing this, so there's not a lot of information, but they said it could be beneficial.
Yeah, I could see that. The thing that could go against that is that weed also can sometimes increase your heart rate. And that has to do more with the paranoia side too, I think. If you start freaking out and then you're getting like anxious, that's
Yeah,
more of an emotional response.
and I think I read somewhere as well. This was a while ago, so I don't know if this is true, but um, weed, it's like back in the day, back in the old days, like the THC count wasn't as high, but now it's being mass produced and there's different ways to grow it and so on and so forth. And the THC is so high and there's very little CBD in it. So the CBD is what calms you down, and the THC is obviously the psychoactive. So now I don't know if it was like this before, but now there's very little CBD in weed, like barely any. You can't really feel any of it, and there's so much THC. So I think that's why paranoia is such a big thing when smoking, is because like the CBD would calm you down, but there's nothing in there anymore, and the THC levels are at record highs.
Hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know why they're choosing to do that.
I don't know, like if that's like I don't know if that's their choice, like if they're not purposely putting the CBD in, or maybe like maybe it's always been like that, and the THC percentage is so high that people are getting extra paranoid because like this right here, I think it's 32%, which is very high. So I mean, if you're a beginner smoker, I would say like if you don't smoke a lot, probably like 17 to 20% is what you need. Like you don't want to like, smoke and get paranoid. It's not fun. Like we've all been there where we got too high and it's like it's not good.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, do your research. That's hard, man. The weed research is limited and controversial. And because now there are so many strains, and like I said, being able to do studies where you're looking across ages on how this affects the brain,
Yeah.
it's a slow process. I mean, no one has overdosed on weed, so that's the good thing. I think it's a class 3 substance now.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's not, it's legalized in most places, not like a huge deal, but
Hmm.
there's still a lot of research that needs to go into it. And I think it could be really beneficial for a lot of things, but I don't think we're there yet.
Yeah, if used in moderation, like anything.
Yeah. So that's just some science on how weed works if you didn't know. And obviously, I think it's cool to know that you yourself produce your own endocannabinoids, they're called. So that's that high feeling you get sometimes when you're high on life.
The runner's high.
I actually think that, yeah, I wonder if that also
It's probably
activates
different.
this-
It's probably
But it's probably different.
yeah, it's probably
It's
different.
probably more norepinephrine or something like that. But okay, so that's all for the weed science. I'm not a weed science expert, but if you guys have questions, send us a DM. I'll try to look up some research articles.
Yep.
Okay, so the other thing I want to talk about real quick is the dark forest hypothesis. Did you hear about this? There's been a lot of talk of
yes.
alien talk has come up. Alien talk has come up again recently, as it does every few months. And so this is the unsettling explanation for why aliens haven't made contact. So this is this is a science theory.
Yeah, so it's on TikTok.
This is like an actual theory, that's published. Okay, so it could be that we simply haven't been looking long enough, nor emitting our own traceable signatures for aliens to find us.
Yeah.
They're not just next door. They'd have to actually find us too.
Yeah.
Or it could be that no aliens will ever make it to the point where they are able to make contact with other species, destroying themselves long before they get to the kind of tech required to do so, which I think is interesting because we might destroy ourselves before we find out if there's life somewhere else. And I'm sure
we will destroy ourselves.
another species is probably doing a similar thing.
Yeah.
Unless they're smarter than us, which they could be. But they'd have to live long enough to find us, and we would have to live long enough to find them.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other point they make is on the very edge of the creepy end of the spectrum falls the dark forest theory. It's a piece of speculation on the topic outlined in the new sci-fi novel, The Dark Forest. It's a sociology professor and former astronomer. And the professor states that their life will strive to stay alive, and there is no way of knowing the intentions of other alien species. Some could be benevolent, some could be hostile. Even if the life out there isn't hostile, it will still be expanding in a universe with limited resource, increasing the likelihood of conflict with others who need the same resources.
Mm-hmm.
So that sucks. We're going to be fighting for resources. And then given these factors, the book suggests all intelligent life is left with the safest course of action, which is to wipe out any other life forms before they can do the same to them, which is like every sci-fi movie ever.
Independence Day.
So, and they are saying like the universe is a dark forest, essentially. Every civilization is an armed hunter stalking through the trees like a ghost, gently pushing aside branches that block the path and trying to tread without sound.
So basically, aliens,
we're all just like hiding out, like something over there. Don't really want to poke the beast. You know what I mean?
So basically, like aliens could be on Earth, but just hidden.
I mean, maybe. I think he's saying more that aliens are super far away and we're all navigating, this vast space universe. And people don't want to travel too far out of their universe. One, because we don't have the tech to do so. But two, because, like,
we don't know what the hell's going on there.
Which is why are just now going to Mars. Like, we're not traveling that far. Mars, like, in comparison to the universe, Mars is not that far from us. So like,
no, it's like a walk down the street compared to like,
we're treading lightly, and I think what they're saying is that other species are doing the same. It's not like aliens are just out, and we call them aliens because we don't know what they are. They could look exactly like us, which is crazy to think, but they could. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Why isn't there another Earth in another universe?
And
so
you might not want to know what's out there.
That's what I mean. Like, just because they're out there doesn't mean they're looking to us to kill us. I think they're holding back too. Like, we're just gonna chill in our universe.
Yeah, I don't know if people
there could be like a bunch. Like, in my mind, I just picture a bunch of universes with a bunch of Earths with a bunch of people like us. Eventually, someone will maybe be smart enough to do this. Like, Elon Musk might be an alien. Like, he might have come from somewhere else or something. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, he's people like that. Like, when you have geniuses, or like that would be cool. Like, if it was like all the geniuses of our time are just from other universes. Is this a show? Could I make
Kanye's
this a show?
Kanye's definitely from a different universe.
Yeah, like Kanye, like really people that are out there, or like Albert Einstein was probably an alien, like Marie Curie, all these people that are just like super smart, like way ahead of their time. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And Elon Musk, I think, is the next person for that. Maybe Jeff Bezos, owner of Amazon.
I think he's a robot. I don't think he's an alien.
Jeff Bezos?
Robot made by the government, yeah. Amazon's owned by the government. Take over the world.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, this is super interesting to me. I just love alien talk. It's kind of ridiculous, but I mean, there's no reason to believe that it's not true. I do like this one quote from the book. In this forest, hell is other people. So true. I hate people. Yeah. So no one wants to get wiped out, and no one's really probing that far. So it's also known as the Fermi paradox. I guess that's a more popular version, but yeah. So that's my alien talk. It's pretty interesting, I think. I want to read the book. There's a couple books that were just published. There's one by the guy was on Joe Rogan. I forget his name now, but he's from out of Harvard. He just published a book too. So I gotta read up on my extraterrestrial knowledge.
Well, I think what did the Pentagon pretty much confirm that the videos that were released were like vehicles or spacecrafts they can't identify. So
yeah.
So it's not.
Yeah, I know that was like.
And it's funny because like people are like, yeah, whatever. Like if you would have told us this like 5 years ago, people would be losing their minds. But we went through a whole pandemic. We're like, come on, like what else we got for us? Like, come on.
Yeah.
We knew this already.
Yeah, people are not. But yeah, I think this is good too. Like, don't be scared of them because they're probably scared of us. Unless they're smarter than us, then.
Which is not probably not that hard. I mean, let's be real.
Okay, so the last science segment. Did you know? Did you know?
I did know this.
Oxygen is produced by the ocean.
I didn't know this. I don't know how. I just saw it on a fun fact somewhere.
Oh, okay. Yeah, a lot of people, when they think, if you actually do think about where the oxygen is from that we breathe, most people think like the forests and things, like the trees, but it's actually Earth's oxygen is produced by the ocean, so we don't want to fuck that up.
Not a good idea.
That's all I have for science. That was kind of a rant, I feel like, but
yeah, we're pretty far into this, so we'll do some music stuff and maybe some hot topics and get on out of here.
Yeah, so hot topics. The Apple had a huge reveal today. Did you know that?
I saw the iPads.
I didn't see the iPads, but I wrote down the iMac reveal. They have colors now.
It's about time. Like, come on, just put some color on this shit. Like, we should be able to customize it any way we want.
If you look at them, they look like newer, older versions. Like they're square again.
Really?
And yeah, they look like throwbacks. And now they have color. I'm like, guys.
Apple has the biggest scam of 2021, actually. Not Jake Paul.
They're thinner though. I guess they're thinner, the iMacs. But like, I mean, obviously, I'm gonna get a green one because I'm gonna do that. Like they sold me. You know, they got me.
Well, they have everybody's souls. Like that one. Like I think they are gonna control the phone. They're gonna control the computer game. Like it's over. I mean, it's just fine. They make great products, so.
I love it. But yeah, I'm planning on getting a green one. I saw they have like the mint green ones. I was like, hell yeah, man, I'm in.
Nice. Dogecoin, baby.
Dogecoin is the other hot topic. Dogecoin to the moon. Dogecoin was supposed to go high today because of 420.
It's actually dropping today.
It didn't.
Which always happens with these kind of things. Yeah. I had a feeling like it's always Doge Day or buy, but it never does. It never happens.
But it's higher now though. I mean, it was 30. Between 30 and 40 all day today. I'm keeping my Doge. I'm holding the line. I'm gonna keep it for a while. See what happens, you know?
Yeah, you might as well. I mean, at this point, I mean, we're in it to make tens of thousands, not just a couple $1,000s. So, and we bought in early, so I mean, we might as well hold. If it drops down, we can still make a couple $100 at school.
Yeah. We bought in early, so we're gonna hold the line. If you just bought in today, I don't know what to
I
tell
know people that bought in like 40s. I'm like you don't. First off, I'm not like an expert at this, but don't buy if you see something that's increased like 40-50% in one day, that's gonna drop at least by half. So don't buy it at the peak. You buy the dips.
Yeah, buy the dips.
Don't be like, oh my god, it's not gonna just keep going up, and it's not gonna hit $100 in one day. Like it's always going to dip. Every single time it's going to dip.
Yeah. Things don't work that way in the stock market. Then they won't let you. It won't let you get to like 50 cents in one day. So I almost did that one.
Yeah, one day. Made history. I'm pretty sure that was like the fastest rise in crypto. Well, I don't know if that's true, but one of the faster rises in one day in crypto history. So
yeah. All right. So that's all the hot topics I have. New Music Friday. Nothing too crazy came out.
I know Young Thug dropped an album, which is pretty good.
Did not listen to that.
Yeah, he dropped an album. There's another. What's the other song I saw?
Julia Michaels has some new music out. If you haven't heard of her, she's great. Girl in Red, I think, is kind of up and coming. She's had a couple songs on New Music Friday. She's got like a rock vibe. She's pretty good. I like her so far. And Greta Van Fleet also has some new music out.
I feel like it's a lot of like new artists right now that are dropping, and then in a couple months or next month, it's going to be all the big artists because everything's opening up. Like if people were holding an album, like the big artists Drake and Kendrick and all them, now is the time to drop it. Like you probably held it last year because nothing was going on. People can't go outside and experience the album. Now the summer times, everything's going to be open everywhere pretty much. Drop the album, go on tour. Let's get some good music. We need some good music from these big artists, for real.
Yeah.
been a while.
Billie Eilish changed her hair and took some pictures and had the most liked photos on Instagram for a while. So I was like,
She's coming.
What in the? I don't.
Rihanna's supposed to be coming too, but I've said that for like the last 4 weeks.
Well, yeah, Rihanna's supposed. You said that, but no, I saw today that Billie said new things are coming. So I'm assuming an album.
A new era.
Yeah, new hair, new her.
But yeah, not much, man. Not like you said, not much. Julia Michaels, Johnny, Bergen Fleet, Ashton Kutcher, Adam McConan. Yeah, nothing major. Let me see if there's any albums I missed. Ian Dior dropped a new song.
Yeah, I saw that. And Dirty Heads was on a song on my release radar.
Really? We need another project from them too, hopefully soon.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if you saw this, but the Paul McCartney 3 reimagined. It's all remixes from like artists like Anderson .Paak, Phoebe Bridgers. Sorry if I said that wrong. That one down Phoebe Bridgers.
You said Phoebe.
Phoebe, I'm sorry. Dominic Fike, that one song I showed you.
Oh, okay. I see this now. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, I don't know if it came out this week or last week, but I want to check that out because it's going to be all remixes, so it should be pretty cool.
Oh, that's interesting. I wonder why people did that.
Well, no, it's Paul McCartney put it out he put it out under his name, all remixes.
Oh.
Probably to get more people to view his album because you get newer artists and then like, oh, I want to hear the original. And then, it's pretty smart.
No, yeah, it's genius. The other thing, Black Keys came out with a new song, which I haven't heard much from them in a while, so that's exciting. I really like them.
I have a new song dropping tomorrow, link in bio.
Oh yeah, hit that pre-save button.
Well, it'll be too late by the time this comes out, so hit that link in bio to stream it and save it on Spotify or wherever you listen to music. So it's gonna be a good one. But yeah.
All right, well that's all I have for music. So
it's time to light this puppy up.
Time to sign off. Oh, in celebration of, I can see it. If you, I recommend everyone tune into YouTube this week so you can see Dougie in his element, celebrating.
Well, it's not really my element. It just kind of used to be my elephant. I say elephant. Well, I'm already so fucking high. I'm in my elephant. All right, that's what we got for you. It's been real. It's been fun. It hasn't been real fun. Peace.